What's going on, everybody? It's Haas. Today we're going to be talking about BEPRO. I'm super excited about the new update that's come through with Polkamarkets. So we're going to be talking about that, what BEPRO tech can do, and why I'm so bullish on the BEPRO future. We're also going to be looking at the BEPRO charts because right now we're looking at a serious trend change that could be a sign of a huge pump coming. Before we get into it, go ahead and give me a like and ignore this wavy hair because, hey, we're in lockdown and this is just what happens. All right, let's get into it. So the big news here is that Polkamarkets has put out their beta, the testnet of the Polkamarkets betting software. So I will actually show you where you can see that just in a second. But I do want to mention here right at the top of this article on the BEPRO website, they mention exactly what BEPRO was used here for. So BEPRO tech was used for the prediction matching engine, the DeFi features, NFTs, backend infrastructure, general technology, and a bunch of other things. So BEPRO was used to create all these aspects of the betting platform. And these are things, specific things, why I'm so bullish on where BEPRO can go. There's a little teaser video here just for the Polkamarkets. We'll go through it really quick. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. If you want more, link down below, obviously. And if you're looking to have a peek at what the Polkamarkets system is going to look like, go ahead over to Crypto Omega's channel. He did a really good peek on the beta. It just came out yesterday. It only has 440 views, so definitely go check it out. Get a view, give him a like, help him out. So we know that there's a lot of things coming down with BEPRO. We understand that there's a lot of things still going to come. And also when you think about the aspects that BEPRO can bring, sometimes when you're investing in something, you can't really think about what you would think of a certain project. Maybe you're not somebody that gambles a lot, but I'm sure everyone knows that 75-year-old that's addicted to blackjack, or all those people that spend oodles and oodles of their paycheck on Facebook games. This marketplace is exactly what we're talking about with BEPRO and the BEPRO Network. They can build out multiple different gaming, DeFi, and other platforms for other institutions, and this ultimately will generate value on the BEPRO system. So again, to reiterate what BEPRO is, it is a solution to create DeFi gaming and betting aspects, all the kind of things that we've seen from BEPRO so far. So it is a business solution focused on these things. So always keep that in mind with what you're thinking about what BEPRO can do. Ultimately, BEPRO can do whatever its customers want it to do. So, and again, how it works. So going back to the tokenomic structure, the model structure of the token economy is built around the BEPRO token. So holders of the BEPRO token are the ones that actually set up applications. So to set up an application, they would need to hold BEPRO. So ultimately, the more businesses that come on board, the higher value the system. So that's where we can see a lot of our increases. And when we start thinking about the future of gaming and the future of betting, I really think BEPRO can easily take its fair share out of the betting and grand scheme of DeFi gaming. So fully bullish on where it's going to go. So we've talked about the long term. Let's go back to the chart. Let's talk about the short term. What are we talking about? And we are looking at the day chart. Is that any better? Okay, a little bit. It's a gloomy day out. Holy crap. Now, obviously we have been on the downward trend and our RSI has followed that similar trend line. So you can kind of see that we've made it down within this structure, and you can see that we're taking a turn. We can also see that in the MACD and the RSI. So we can obviously see a trend turn for the daily chart in terms of BEPRO. So we do know that hopefully the trend is going to turn the corner, but ultimately this really just depends on what Bitcoin is going to do, because we've seen this before. Back up here is when we saw this last time where we saw a huge trend reversal coming up. So when we saw this trend reversal, Bitcoin actually capitulated, which lent us into this downturn. So we could see a similar thing where Bitcoin capitulates down and then we continue on the downtrend. The one thing that I would like to bring to your attention though, when you're thinking about that, because a lot of people would probably be looking at that and be thinking that how could BEPRO go lower? Well, the reality is just in February, we were sitting way under what BEPRO is right now. So with this dramatic increase that we're talking about, that is a hell of a lot of a pump to go through. And the fact that BEPRO has maintained a good amount of that pump over those months is pretty miraculous, considering that there wasn't really much coming down the pipe other than the active developer news. But now that we see products being tested, it's really getting into more of a bullish space. Now, again, I will say that in the short term, we are really at the mercy of Bitcoin, so it could go either which way, but we can see the trend line is at least moving upwards. Now, it's hard to predict where BEPRO is going to go, especially when you're talking about such a low cap coin, and especially with all the Twitter and everything else going on, because everyone loves BEPRO. It's crazy. You guys are absolutely nuts. I understand the project is a pretty good project. I'm pretty bullish on the concept, and I think it's going to go places if they can get it off the ground. But when you're looking at a rise like this, that was an 8,000% increase from the bottom. I highly doubt that we're going to see an 8,000% increase within 40 days. So just to see what that would look like for perspective, it looks like within a month going all the way up to $1, which I know how nice $1 BEPRO would be, but I'm talking about realism here. And in terms of realism, I'm not sure that we can see a BEPRO quite at $1 within the next month or so. Now, I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility for the bull market. It's fully within the possibility of the bull market. But in the next month, I'm going to say that this is an extremely bullish case. Not saying it couldn't happen, but I'm saying the likelihood is really, really low. In terms of realistic targets, we're obviously going to break our 5-cent all-time high, but truly I think the next stop from here is probably somewhere more in the range of the 23-cent mark. So if we are able to get that 23-cent mark, and hopefully that's going to be within the next few months, and again, the chart is looking extremely bullish. It is looking that it's going to swing to the upside, but everything is pending what Bitcoin is going to do, and it's not looking too great for Bitcoin. I'm not terribly concerned if Bitcoin takes another tumble. I think BEPRO will recover. But if we do hit that 23-cent mark, that would bring the BEPRO market cap just over $1 billion. And that's a hell of a way to go from here. So I want to keep everyone realistic about that. That's a lot of money to flow in. But when you're talking about crypto, $1 billion isn't actually all that much when you're talking about something as simple as a Binance listing. So if we do get something bullish like a Binance listing or some other big exchange, we could see some massive turning points for BEPRO, especially even if Bitcoin capitulates. So the market cap is approximately $65 million right now. So obviously we're talking about really, really low cap. When you're talking about market caps like this, they're always going to come with some risk. So you've got to be prepared for that. You really have to look at what this platform could do in the next little while and determine, is this platform undervalued for what you think, or is it overvalued? Right now, I think nobody could look at the BEPRO chart, what BEPRO can do, and the current market cap and the downturn that it's taken, and look at it and say it's overvalued. Clearly, at this point, BEPRO is undervalued. So I'm hoping soon we do make that run to the upside. I want to finish this video off talking about Bitcoin because, again, everything that I just said about BEPRO, at least in the near term, really revolves on what Bitcoin's going to do. I am a little bit bearish on Bitcoin. I did tweet last night about where I thought Bitcoin was going to go, depending on where legacy markets are going to go. We know that Bitcoin is kind of holding ground, trying not to tumble any further. But the reality is Bitcoin could always take a quick tumble down to the 44,000 mark. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility yet. I definitely don't think we're out of the woods in terms of this dip. And if you look at prior dips, we saw the exact same thing happen. We'd see a dip, a rebound, and then another dip, but that was less exaggerated. But we do see the same thing here, rebound and dip. And then here, rebound, and then dip, right? So we could still see some further capitulation. Don't think you're out of the woods yet, but if Bitcoin can stabilize at around these levels, it could be extremely bullish for most altcoins, including BEPRO. That's it for me, guys. Hopefully this helped. Links down below for anything that I talked about today. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. All right, everyone. Happy hodling.